Okay, so we just went through the pre-reading of the poem, and now I'm going to spend the next 25 minutes. This screencast thing has only 15-minute limits, so this will be part one of writing my essay. So I have printed out the annotation that I've made on the PDF file online, or on the computer, and I've got it next to me, so you won't be able to see me marking through that as I go. But, so here we go. I have 14 minutes and 30 seconds for this first part. I have spent a good 10 to 15 minutes actually thinking and noticing everything that the question asked me to notice. It asked me to notice language describing the scene and how it creates mood and meaning. That's my task, so I am going to just start my essay with this. I've thought about how the scenes are described and how the description of those scenes create mood and meaning, so I see right here an organization for my essay. I'm going to summarize the scenes. There's more than one, which we'll see, and speak about them. I guess there are many ways to organize an essay. My choice is to describe each scene, and I think there are like 3 main scenes here, and you'll see how I interpret that, how I look at it. And so as I move from scene to scene, I'm going to pause to describe the language and how it creates mood and the meanings that mood and meaning as I go scene by scene. So here we go. Now I've already thought about it. So my introduction is going to be one that sort of summarizes my argument about this poem, my interpretation. So here we go. All right, now it's 2 minutes, so obviously I wouldn't spend 2 minutes talking to you if I were a student doing this. So here we go. Robert Penn Warren's Evening Hawk. Is a very 20th century godless poem. That describes a universe ruled not by a fatherly deity, but instead by a sublime, beautiful, but also chillingly indifferent nature. The poem begins with an image of a hawk diving through geometries and orchids that the sunset builds. This line begs us to pause in its unusual choice of words and images. I'm going to make the font a little larger here for you. First, the personification of sunset as the builder thus the creator of the skies. Appearance already strikes a post-Christian, post-religious, naturalistic note. The sunset is part of nature itself. And as a creator of both geometries and orchids, we see Warren suggesting, now I could say connoting there, but connoting sounds prissy and constipated. Suggesting is just as good, it's more natural. We see Warren suggesting that there is, when you're writing, of course, you would just underline words that you would italicize, but I'm typing, so I'm italicizing, that there is an order to the universe, but not one created by God, by any God. The orderly geometry of the universe is designed by nature itself. There is some Korean truck driving around blabbering in it's probably selling watermelons or something, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, not very good test conditions. Start a new paragraph because I don't like long ones. So the poem begins with an image of a hawk diving through blah blah blah. This first scene is full of dark light imagery that is carried throughout the poem. Okay, I'm going to pause until this bastard leaves. We see light imagery always related to the hawk's sky, and dark imagery. Well, I may as well put a couple of examples there. Plain sunset orchids, avalanche of light above the pines. And since there's a line break there, I'll go ahead and put that slash to make that line break show. While the dark imagery resides, is earthbound. and peaks, black, angularity, the shadow is attached to the earth. At the same time, there is a stunning mood. Notice I'm putting the idea of mood in there, of awe and wonder, created by this opening stanza. The image is so vivid. Showing us the hawk plunging earthward in the heavens, backlit by sunset, by orchids, riding that tumultuous avalanche of light. But feel the poet's wonder. The second stanza changes image and mood darkly with its introduction of the scythe metaphor for the hawk's wing. The scythe is a standard allusion to the Grim Reaper. So suddenly a very strong note of death is run with this image. The hawk's wing is a honed steel edge. And it seems poised to mow down individual lives that are memorably described as stalks of time. Okay, alright, so that was 12 minutes, and I've got how much so far? Quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to stop this and go